Howdy folks, it's Adriel the Hunting Gear Guy, and I'm a giant, and this is how big a Mosin looks with me. Or it's a Keystone Mini Mosin. It's probably the Mini Mosin. Bullseye North sent me one of these things to try out and review for you guys. So thanks to them, because this isn't normally something I would buy. I'd normally buy something with lots of capabilities, something semi-auto, magazine, scope, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Whereas this is a very different rifle than something I typically get. It's a pretty decent quality, like it's got walnut wood stock, and it's got a bunch of little like touches to it that make it look like a real Mosin that I think are pretty neat. And rather than being like, it looks like it's got a magazine, but it is actually a single shot 22. So no 7.62 by 54 ammo in this, just 22 ammo, and it's kind of a neat little 22. Got a couple of little neat features in it. That loading ramp, for example, you can kind of just put your shell on it, and then it actually gets out of the way as the bolt goes forward. It just pushes it down and out of the way. So a couple of neat things on it. Well, I mean, you saw that it's empty, so why don't we get this thing on the table and take a closer look. Starting from the front, we have just a basic muzzle crown. We have a hooded front sight. It kind of looks like it might be adjustable, but you don't need to because the rear sight is adjustable, and no sense trying to get some sort of tool in there to adjust it when the rear sight's adjustable. And then the rest of our fore end here, just made to look like a Mosin. So we've got some caps here that looks like it's just painted on there just to make it look the part. We've got some barrel bands, some stock bands here, mid bands, whatever. Little sling cut out there. It looks really good. The stock is walnut, so it's a real wood stock on it. Stopping at the rear sight, we've got some departures from the Mosin because you have to. You wouldn't want to do like a ramped sight or something like that on the back here. So they have kind of a semi-buckhorn to it. And then it is adjustable. This rear sight is in a dovetail, and you would loosen that screw right there. And you can move it side to side in there for your windage. And then for your elevation, you've got that screw right there. And that shows how far up or down the rear sight is. They're sighted in from the factory for, I don't know, I was trying this thing at 25 and it seemed fine. Up on top, we've got the star imprint, just like a Mosin would be, but instead this is on a 22. You can see that we have a couple screws up here, so if we wanted to, we could potentially get a scope mount on there. We have a sled in there, and I'm just going to show you what that is because that's for loading our rounds. You would pop that 22 in, just kind of shake it until it gets on the sled, and then pop this guy forward and lock it in. So that's our bolt, and pop it back fast, and it will actually actuate a little plunger. You see just at the bottom there, that little plunger that comes out. That's our ejector to get those shells out. Moving a little bit further to the front here, we've got our trigger, and then we've got our bolt. And I want to show you how this bolt works because it's a single shot rifle, and when you push it forward like this, it's actually not ready to fire. This is actually kind of like some of the Kuis that we have up here in Canada. You actually have to pull this back till it clicks. Now you saw that I have the snap cap in there, so I can test the trigger weight on this thing. And it looks like we're just over 5 pounds, 10 ounces there, so 5 and a bit, we'll say, for the trigger pull on it, which is a bit heavy, but I don't know, my kids found it fine. The thing that my kids, they had a little bit of trouble getting around this cocking piece here. They had to use 2 hands to kind of get enough hand strength to pull it back, but it's doable. Then once you're done firing, we can pull that back and pull the bolt back vigorously. If you don't pull it back with some stank, it won't eject the round. The harder you pull it back, the faster that round will eject. Just pulling in the left-hand side just to show you some of the other little details they got on here. There's our sling attach point there as well, and then there's our stamped seal butt plate, just like on the Mosin. So now that we've seen it up close, why don't we take it to the range? So you saw there, super easy to shoot off bags or not. My kids tried this prone, they tried it standing, and it was fine. Nice and lightweight. easy to hold off the shoulder, really short length of pull as well, so easy enough for them to get up on top of it. And the sights are also very easy to get behind and see what's going on. So really easy to use from that perspective. What would you use this rifle for? Well, there are more practical hunting 22s. There are more practical target 22s, and there's more practical many other kinds of 22s. Like this rifle is in Canada here right around $550, and in the States it's $4 something US, which makes it a pretty pricey 22. But really, I think this is got a couple things going for it. One, kind of looks like a Mosin, so it's kind of cool. It's got some of that cool factor to it. It's extremely lightweight. I'll put the exact weight down here, but it's very lightweight. Super easy for a kid to shoulder and all that, and not quite as, I don't know, like the blue and pink stock ones that you see that are a little bit kind of the same thing, but maybe not really as cool looking or not as high quality. Because again, the wood on this thing looks really, really good. Yeah, I mean, like some features aren't metal, like they just chose to paint over here, for example, but they did put some barrel bands on here. They did put the little stamped sling cutouts there and that kind of thing. So it looks kind of cool. So I think that the person who buys this would be someone who's looking for a cool little rifle for their kid, something that that resembles a Mosin and looks kind of neat from that perspective. Looks like kind of like an old military rifle, but still like very lightweight and easy enough to take out and shoot. So pretty cool gun, and you should definitely check these out if you see one at your local gun shop. Thanks for watching.
Not going in.
Just pull it back a little bit. There now.
Okay.
There it goes.